Hey kiddos, welcome back to my channel. I decided to make another video because it's Mother's Day and I wanted to wish everyone a very happy Mother's Day. I know it's only Mother's Day in North America, I think right now. It's celebrated at a different time in the UK and it stresses me out every year when I see all my UK friends talking about Mother's Day and I'm like, oh my God, I forgot. But I didn't forget because I live in Canada. So in celebration of Mother's Day, I decided to do a little video. I wanted to share with you guys my top 5 book moms. So this is mothers and mother-like characters. I think all the ones I chose are specifically mothers, but you can include mother-like and primary caregivers for Mother's Day. I'm very tired. I just got from work. I think you should know that. Yes, my top 5 moms in books that I've read. And because I wanted to share the love on this day of all days, Mother's Day, I did a poll on Instagram and in Discord to find out what some of your favorite book moms are. And we do actually have a couple in common. For my list specifically, I decided to go with POV character moms, so point of view character moms, because otherwise the list was just too big to choose from. And some mom characters I love and they have like 2 pages of screen time or page time. So I didn't want to include them and it was a whole thing. So I've decided to go with POV mom characters. But when I asked you guys, I just did characters in general. So yeah. So let's just jump into it. I'm going to go from 5 to 1 of my faves. I'm going to talk about them a little bit. And then we'll talk about the ones that you guys said were your faves. And I'm just going to talk about the ones that got multiple votes because that did happen, which was pretty cool. And at the end, I'll just show a list on screen of all the ones that just got a single vote because I don't remember them all. I didn't write them down. I am going to save it for last, of course, but my number 1 mom was also your number 1 mom. She got so many votes and like, put in the comments right now if you can guess who it's going to be. If you think you know, I want to see if you guys can figure it out. Like an unbelievable number of people voted for this mom and she's my number 1 as well. So stay tuned. Coming in at number 5 is Amina Al-Sarafi from The Adventures of Amina Al-Sarafi. So the story of Amina Al-Sarafi is set in, it's a historical fantasy set on the Indian Ocean, and it is the tale of a woman who is a former pirate who has now settled down to live a domestic life because she has a child. That's a theme that we find a lot in stories, and I'm not saying it's a bad theme, but a lot of the book moms that I was considering for the list have the same general thing. They used to be a badass. They used to be part of a group doing criminal things, probably, and now they have settled down to live a domestic life. Shockingly, something happens that leads her to one last job. And now this job specifically, unlike others, is not about her child. Nothing has happened to her child that leads her on this adventure. It's actually more of her own, I mean, I don't want to give too much away, but it's more of her own willpower and greed and sense of guilt and stuff that leads her on this adventure. Her daughter is involved, of course, but Amina is an excellent mom character and a total badass. This book popped off when it came out and I was pleasantly surprised. I did the audiobook and I think to this day, it's one of the best audiobooks I've listened to. It's wonderfully performed. And Amina is an excellent example of a trend that it's been going on for like a couple years now, but it is becoming more popular, which is older female main characters who are not just the mom and not just a wife, but they're doing their own things. And it's not romance, it's not sexy, it's real life. So yeah, number 5, Amina Al-Sarafi. Mom number 4. Mom number 4 is Angrboda from The Witch's Heart by Genevieve Gornichek. This was one of the first books I read when I was getting back into reading a couple of years ago, so pretty soon after it came out. I read it because I was on that mythology retellings hype train at the time, and this is Norse mythology, and Angrboda is actually Loki's wife in mythology, so I was drawn to it because of that fact. I didn't know her story at all. This book is amazing. You guys, this book is incredible. Even if you're not a mythology retellings girly, I would recommend checking it out. If you do like myth retellings and you haven't read this, please give it a shot. Angrboda is put through test after test after test. Her devotion to her children is incredible. Even though her children are death itself, a giant wolf, and a big ol' snake, I was stunned by this book. And this is one of the only books I've read in recent memory that made me sob. I think the fact that her children were also animals just destroyed me, because a lot of the moms in this go through some serious hardships regarding their children, but I don't really care about human characters apparently. But animal babies? Oh my god. Oh my god, I'm gonna cry right now. Okay, so if you want to sob and if you want to be blown away by beautiful writing, if you want Norse mythology, if you want a different take on Loki, if you're not familiar with Loki's story, I would read this one. Number 3 got a lot of votes as well. I think she was the second most voted mom on the list. She's not my second highest, but she did make it on the list. And it is Navani Colin from the Stormlight Archive. Now, I only have brought up The Way of Kings. I do own the whole series, but I've only read Way of Kings and Words of Radiance, and I don't think she's a POV character. Oh, she is a POV character a little bit in Words of Radiance, I think. I honestly don't remember, but I confirmed that she is a POV character in the later books, so she gets to be on the list based on my own criteria. Vani is cool as hell, you guys. I know I don't know the half of it. Don't comment about it. I know she gets even cooler, but I already am obsessed with her. She was blessed with some of the most idiotic, difficult, cool children. And she is a woman in a world that does not treat women great. And she's in a romance between older characters. Ah, amazing. I honestly have not a lot to say about it other than Navani is cool as hell. And I'm really excited to read more from her, because from her first entrance in Way of Kings, I knew I loved her, and people won't shut up about her. And I know you guys love her because you voted so much for her. My God. Mom number 2. This is where I should clarify, because I didn't clarify in the polls, that favorite mom does not mean they have to be a good mom. And maybe good mom is subjective, because my number 2, she's a bitch and such a fun character to read. My number 2 mom is Gormla from The Children of Gods and Fighting Men and Words of Kings and Prophets, as well as the upcoming Lands of the Living and the Dead by Shauna Lawless. Gormla early on is compared to Cersei Lannister in the way that she is. So, I mean, Cersei didn't make the list, but she could have. Think of Cersei Lannister, but Irish and with more power, both politically and literally, because she's got magic powers. Gormla is one of the immortal characters in this book, so her son is king. So she only looks like barely 30 years old, even though she is much, much, much older than that. And her son, I think, is like the same age appearance-wise at this point, and people are starting to question why she looks so dang young for the Queen Regent. Anyways, that's not even the story. I just think that's interesting. The other POV character in this book is also a mother, Fola, and she's definitely a runner-up, but she's much sweeter and nicer. Don't get me wrong, she has her moments, but Gormla, I am obsessed with her. She's psychotic in the best ways. So if you're looking for less of a loving, caring mother and more of a psycho Cersei Lannister character to read, please check this out. This series is really underrated and really incredible. Before I show you guys my number 1 mom, top mom, and if you haven't voted yet or guessed who it is, there's that in my eye. Do it now in the comments. I'll talk to you guys about the runner-ups. I already mentioned one. It was Cersei Lannister, actually. She got a couple of votes. Oh my God. I haven't read Game of Thrones, so I didn't put her on the list. Based on the show only, I would say that she's a cool mom in the way that, you know, Gormla is a cool mom. A character from a book that I also haven't read, but I do actually have right here. Misaki from Sword of Kagan was voted several times. You guys really love her, and I guess I should probably read this book at some point so I can learn more about her. We also had Molly Weasley voted a couple of times, which is adorable. Victra was voted for. I got a couple for Padme Amidala, which doesn't make sense, but I did get more than 1 vote for her, so sure, we'll put her on the list. And finally, Moraine as a mom-like figure got some votes, which, again, okay. There was little instruction in the mom voting. Don't forget, if you voted for a mom I haven't said yet, I'll list her at the end. These are the moms that got multiple votes. So now it's time for the number 1 mom. You already know who it is. And you know that it's Orca Skullsplitter from the absolutely fantastic Bloodsworn novels by John Gwynne. Orca is a mom to defeat all moms. Like, literally, I think of all the moms I've listed, she would absolutely kick ass and kill every other mom involved. The Bloodsworn Saga is a Viking Norse mythology inspired story. So just put your mindset in that if you're not already aware, but it also involves animal-based magic, is what I'll say. I don't want to give away spoilers. Orca is in the same sort of situation that Amina Al-Sarafi is in, where she used to be part of a group of people that did some things. I mean, it's Vikings, so just, you know, put your mindset in Vikings, as I said. But she has since retired and has a husband and a son and is living a peaceful life off in the woods doing her own thing when one day her family is attacked and her son is taken. So her storyline is getting her son back. That is the only thing that Orca cares about. All of the other POV characters in the Bloodsworn series like have multiple levels of what they're trying to do, who they're aligning with, lots of layered stuff. And I'm not saying Orca's not layered, because she absolutely is, but her drive, her one thing is getting her boy back. And I love it. And she's such a badass. Again, oh my gosh. These books are beautifully bloody, and she's responsible for a lot of it, and she's getting that kid back. The third book in the series is meant to release later this year, and I'm really excited to find out what's going to happen now that we're at the point we're at. I recently finished the second book, Hunger of the Gods, and I'm excited to read Fury of the Gods. Let's just leave it at that. So these were my top 5 moms that I want to shout out for Mother's Day. Here is a quick list of the other moms that were voted for. If your favorite book mom was not mentioned in this video, let's talk about her in the comments below. I would love to hear more about her. And if your favorite book mom was mentioned, tell me everything. Tell me why you love her. Happy Mother's Day to my mom also. Hi mom, I'm seeing you today. And happy Mother's Day to all of your moms and primary caregivers. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Thanks again for watching my video. Before I go, don't forget to like and subscribe and ring the bell icon so you know when I upload new videos. I upload 2 days a week. I love you guys. Goodbye.